All right, welcome back to Living Local. It is time to check in with Movie Mike for what's new in theaters. Mike Schultz, arts editor for the River Cities Reader, back with us for a review of some of the new movies that are already out and a preview of the ones opening up.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, we got a couple here we'll talk about. We'll start with last week's The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse.
You liked this one.
I loved this one.
It.
This was great. Yeah, it's creepy as all get out. This has a really simple plot. This is two men in the 1890s who have to take care of a lighthouse on a very small, rocky stretch of land. The lighthouse keepers in question are Mr. Willem Dafoe and Mr. Robert Pattinson, and it's basically about how they get on for their few weeks while slowly going mad. There are images of beached mermaids that show up. There's a one-eyed seagull who causes all sorts of mischief. There are severed heads in lobster cages.
Yikes.
It's frightening.
Yeah.
It's really funny, and it's endlessly fascinating in terms of trying to figure out exactly what is real and what just might be going on in the characters' heads.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie, though, by the director of The Witch, Robert Eggers. It's only his second movie, but as you can see, the photography is stunning. Black and white film in kind of a square, boxy ratio to kind of make it look even more old-timey than it already feels.
Right.
It is nuts. I saw it with a friend after the movie was done. We just basically turned to each other and went, "What was that?" But while laughing, going, wanting to see it again immediately. It was great
That's
fun.
how I felt about The Lobster.
There you go.
Colin Farrell film.
Yeah, it's much very similar actually in that way. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a blast.
All right, now, the one you didn't like, I'm sad to hear, Harriet.
Harriet, I wanted to like it, I mean, because we've been waiting how long for a
So
Harriet
long,
Tubman, biopic. This is the first one ever. It's got a terrific cast. Cynthia Erivo plays the lead. She won a Tony Award for the Color Purple musical a few years back and has done a few films. It has Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton and Janelle Monáe. It's directed by a terrific young woman named Casey Lemons, who's great. The problem is that it's, while you do get Harriet Tubman's story of how she freed many slaves, it's all treated really blithely, and nobody really converses so much as they speechify. Everything sounds like a history lesson. And it also has a lot of cliches I wasn't expecting. Like there's a really bad slave owner, and then there's like his chief assistant, like in every action movie. So we have to knock off the chief assistant first, and then we do a big monologue to the head bad guy, and it just follows a lot of kind of similar trajectories in ways that are pretty disappointing. But at the end of the day, it's worth it just to have that movie around.
Absolutely.
And Cynthia Erivo is tremendous in the lead role, at least. She kind of makes it worthwhile. It's a great movie for kids at the end of the day, for people who just want to kind of learn the basics of the Harriet Tubman story.
An important story to tell.
I wish it was a little bit more complex, but that's okay. I'll live.
All right, sounds great. All right, we'll talk about this week's movie now, and we've got a lot opening up.
There's a lot.
So we got to get through these here. The Shining, the sequel, Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep, a sequel to The Shining that I did not know existed, that Mr. Stephen King wrote years ago. Had no clue. Saw a preview this spring and went, what? What's going on? So this follows young Danny Torrance, or no longer young Danny Torrance, the little kid who was terrorized by Jack Nicholson 39 years ago. And now it has him still kind of contending with his powers of shining, being able to see visions of the future. He meets a young girl with similar powers. They become chased by a group of scary supernatural beings who want to kind of suck all the energy out of those with the shining so they can live. Red rum. But I'm kind of jazzed, I got to admit, because there are a bunch of shots that are really reminiscent from the Stanley Kubrick movie from 1980. And you got the same music cues with that tuba or French horn or whatever making scary noises. I'm kind of on board already because The Shining might be my favorite horror movie ever made. There you go. There's one that scares me. Put the kid on a tricycle, and I'm terrified already. So, but you got Ewan McGregor in it, Rebecca Ferguson, who's terrific. So, fingers crossed.
I hope it doesn't take itself
great.
too seriously. That's my biggest concern. I saw the trailer for this a while ago, and I was like, do we need this?
It doesn't look very funny at all. So.
All right.
We'll see.
Bring it on. All right, next up, a war movie, because we always got to have one of those.
Indeed.
With good old Dennis Quaid, Midway.
Dennis Quaid is back. We can't get enough, clearly. So, yes, this is, of course, about the historic Battle of Midway. That was pretty much one of the deciding factors in the turnaround of the trajectory of World War II. This was a movie back in 1976, and now it's back with updated visual effects and a different cast, of course. We have Mr. Dennis Quaid. We have Woody Harrelson involved in this one. We have Mandy Moore showing up in this one, right? You have Darren Criss from Glee, who won an Emmy a couple of years back. I'm a little nervous about this, I got to admit, because it looks, first of all, it looks terribly Pearl Harbor-y in that Michael Bay way. That doesn't make me happy. But it's also by Roland Emmerich, a director who can do spectacle like no one's business, but the spectacle he does tends to be dopey because it's the 2 Independence Days. It's the really bad version of Godzilla that nobody likes.
Yeah.
It's The Day After Tomorrow. It's 2012. It's 10,000 BC. It's a whole bunch of movies I never, ever want to watch again. So, yes, while this great story, of course, amazing, heroic tale, hopefully it's able to triumph over its director, I'm guessing. You know, who knows? Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it'll be great. I always go in half full. Yeah.
And if you like war movies,
yeah,
you're probably going to enjoy it.
That's right.
There you go. Alrighty, and as someone who absolutely loves Christmas movies, I'm excited for this one, Last Christmas.
And you love Emilia Clarke, too, I believe.
I do love Emilia Clarke.
Yes,
she's
she's back. She's off of Game of Thrones and onto our screens. Yes, this is a romantic comedy set in London. Emilia Clarke plays a young, struggling musician who works at an all-year-round Christmas store dressed as an elf. She winds up running...
dream, am I right?
Right, isn't that the way? She winds up running into a young man played by Henry Golding from Crazy Rich Asians, and it's kind of a offbeat romance between these two with a couple of really good character actresses in there. Emma Thompson, who we love and who co-wrote the movie, actually, and Michelle Yeoh, who is also from Crazy Rich Asians, shows up as Emilia Clarke's boss. So hopefully just some lighthearted seasonal fun. I don't think this is going to be going for any Oscars, and you know, nothing wrong with that. And Emilia Clarke can be delightful outside of dragon riding. So yeah, yeah. So we'll see. You know,
dragons.
Exactly. Yeah. Feels a little early still for holiday movies, but what you gonna do?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No. Let's leave it. All right.
All right.
Next up, we have a movie that is quite controversial already.
A little bit.
Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit. This is the film that won the People's Choice Awards at the recent Toronto Film Festival. The last one to do that, a little movie called Green Book, which went on to win Best Picture. And this one has kind of Oscar buzz all around it. This is about a young man, part of Hitler's army in 1942. He has an imaginary friend who looks a little bit exactly like Adolf Hitler.
Wow.
And what he finds out is that his mother is hiding a young Jewish girl in their attic in Germany. And so it basically is a kind of a coming-of-age story with this child. But it's played for laughs for the most part. It is a World War II in Germany comedy with Hitler himself played by the director of the movie, Taika Waititi, who made Thor Ragnarok, of course.
Love Taika Waititi.
Yeah, exactly. He made a great one called Hunt for the Wilder People and What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows.
This hilarious vampire mockumentary, which is just perfect. You know. Yeah, exactly. But the reviews on this are pretty off the charts great. You have Scarlett Johansson in there, Sam Rockwell, Rebel Wilson.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a cast.
Amazing cast. Yeah, exactly. And Taika Waititi, I mean, he's an up-and-coming huge talent.
So talented.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to that greatly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Bring it on. All right, next up, we can move pretty quickly through the last couple here. Playing with Fire.
Playing with Fire, yes. I could probably do this in one sentence.
Okay.
John Cena and his associates are firefighters who wind up taking care of 3 adorable little children for an hour and a half. I'm not sure if there's anything else that needs to be said. It's going to be a family slapstick, whatever. Again, you know, if you're really on board for seeing this, you're probably going to have fun. John Cena, he's a kick.
Yeah.
I love him in comedy mode. I'm okay with that.
He's good.
Yeah, and you've got also Keegan-Michael Key, and you've got John Leguizamo and Judy Greer, so it's got some good people in it.
Good little slapstick.
Yeah, exactly right.
He was good in Daddy's Home. I like Daddy's Home.
Yes, he was. He was great in that.
I liked him in that.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
And the next one is actually a South Korean flick.
Yeah.
Parasite.
Parasite. Yes, indeed. This is about a lower middle class family in South Korea. One of the sons gets taken in by a very rich family to teach English to their daughter, and eventually he manages to get his entire family working as different jobs in this house. One's a cook and one's a butler. They pretend they don't know each other, and so they basically gradually take over this rich person's house in South Korea. It is supposed to be very funny. It is supposed to be really scary, really bloody, really strange, and already on the Internet Movie Database, if you want to visit, it is in the top 50 of movies of all time already. It's been out for like 3 weeks. It's directed by Joon-ho Bong, who did movies called Snowpiercer and Okja, a wonderful, wonderful South Korean filmmaker. I can't wait. The reviews are nuts on this one.
Top 50.
Yeah,
that's worth
already.
seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good
busy weekend. I'm exhausted already.
Hey, you'll have fun doing it, though.
I will. I
right.
absolutely will.
In review, the new movies coming out here this week are Dr. Sleep, Midway, Last Christmas, Jojo Rabbit, Playing with Fire, and Parasite. And you can read Mike's movie reviews inside the latest reader on stands everywhere and online at rcreader.com. And for more information on the movies, you can head over to arquadcities.com.